What happened elsewhere in the Premier League today, starting with a standout result for Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux against a faltering Liverpool. Wolves 3-0 winners, Michael.
Yeah.
What an incredible result, this.
Yeah, it's going from bad to worse for Liverpool, isn't it? Matip probably at fault there, you know, slowing down and then in the wrong position. I don't know what he was stumbling for there or slowing his run down, but the ball comes off his... And when you looked out, things like that happen. Worse than it ends up being 2, and you thought this was even worse defending now.
Yeah, I mean, just being so high, allowing the set piece to go in behind. I just think all 3 of the goals are just dreadful defending. They were really difficult to score against at the moment. They're not. This is a Wolves. They were really difficult to score against at the moment. They're not. This is a Wolves team that scored 12 goals all season in the Premier League. They scored. What's going on? I'm sure the club are, the players are, because they're a shadow of the team we've come to expect.
The drop-off is quite incredible, isn't it? It's the first
of the team we've come to expect.
The drop-off is quite incredible, isn't it? It's the first in the Premier League. Let's get the thoughts now of the Reds boss, Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen, not the result you were after. How do you sum up today's work?
Obviously a horrible start. 2 goals which cannot happen like they happened, but we all witnessed it happened. And you are 2-0 down because of our own faults, mistakes, because I think both goals we should have defended better, but it's a little bit a thing. Cannot explain it. There's no excuse for it. No explanation. Cannot explain it. There's no excuse for it. No explanation. It happened. Then you're 2-0 down. Crowd is there. Blah blah blah. But the game opens up. We get a bit of blah blah blah. But the game opens up. We get a bit of control of the game. Have played good stuff. So the second half then. I think we played for around about 45 minutes a really good away game. So first half and start of the second half was really good without scoring. So it was always clear, it looked 100% like that. This can change completely, but that's a big if because we didn't. And that, sums it up pretty much.
What do you think needs to change?
No concentration, but about it is...
What do you think needs to change?
No concentration, but about it is the first 50 minutes. Again, I cannot explain, but we did this, we do that. And that needs to change, obviously, because then we do that. And that needs to change, obviously, because then the rest, you see, we played against Wolves who had the momentum completely on. We missed relatively big chances, goalkeeper maybe saves or stuff like this, so we were not clear enough in the last moment, but now I see the second goal. Yeah, wow. So that's the thing. We have to. I stand here again. If Vida are not 2-0 down, for the rest, then you see if Vida are not 2-0 down, and we can play like we played, then we are not that much on the. But the goal in the second half was the first time I think they pretty much crossed the halfway line, but that's then how it is, and it's right like this because when you start like this, I don't think you deserve anything in the game.
I mean, they really have hit a sticky patch of Liverpool. Just have a look at that. 3 losses and a defeat. What stands out more than anything is the goals being conceded at an alarming rate, Michael.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's been a real change of back 4, hasn't there, especially at the centre of defence in recent weeks with lots of injuries. But there's no real excuse. Still top players playing there and still big mistakes being made all season. It's not just goals conceded, it's the amount of shots.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone on about it for weeks and weeks now, how these type of results, sadly, from a Liverpool point of view, aren't a surprise anymore. And it's incredible at how it happened. It happened not so long ago and it's incredible at how it happened. It happened not so long ago it was like a shadow over the team. And then they bounced back and it was just it was like a shadow over the team. And then they bounced back and it was just and in need of bouncing back and rekindling that old flame.
I'm just as alarmed as the goal scored. I mean, they've scored 1 goal in 4 games away from home.
And none in the last 3, by the way.
That's very un-Liverpool, like away from home.
And none in the last 3, by the way.
That's very un-Liverpool. Like, you know, we're talking that They're a bit weak in midfield. They're missing Van Dijk at the back, but we'd still expect them to be able to create opportunities and score without scoring. Well, they're a team that we've come to assume will score goals, but they're struggling to at the moment.
I've got to point you towards the next fixture for Liverpool, considering what we've seen today from Everton at home. Towards the next fixture for Liverpool, considering what we've seen today from Everton at home.
Before today's game.
Yeah.
Well, a week ago, I was really not looking forward to that game, but I am now. Everton looked like a team with new life, with new desire and a more suited way of playing, and Liverpool aren't scoring and are conceding. So on paper, it looks like Everton are going into this, despite being in the bottom three, in a much fresher and stronger position, but derbies can change seasons. Derbies, form goes out the window. So it'll be about who turns up on the day, but I'm more positive now than... So it'll be about who turns up on the day, but I'm more positive now than...
Michael, good to see you too. There's a change here, of course, on Matchday Live. We've still got one game coming your way on the Premier.
Goals to nil, which means that right now Wolves are 14th and themselves out of the drop
Everton
zone.
back in the drop zone.
Everton
Well, it was nice to be out for a half an hour or so.
But this is quite something that's been going on or developing at Molineux first half.
Well, they've defended really poorly, Liverpool, again, I think. You know, they don't deal with a quite simple ball through here. He challenged just looking to play it back across. And listen, I don't blame Matip for anything there. He's trying to block it. It's unlucky with the deflection. But getting in was too easy. How they got in there was too simple.
Because he stopped, didn't he?
He did stop. He did stop. And then this one, you know, again, a ball in, they don't deal with it. Joe Gomez actually takes this out of the goalkeeper's hands with his little header there. They don't clear it again. Craig Dawson, well, that was a finish, big man. Normally associate Craig Dawson with headed goals, but that's what he shows. He shows you, listen, if it drops down in front of you, it doesn't matter if you're not a centre forward, just put your foot through it. There you go. That's how it's done. Goalkeeper no save it, even though it's right beside him. And it could have got worse, yes. And maybe should have got worse, Rich, and this game would have been over, I think, at 3-0. But that's the way Liverpool have been this half, really poor defensively. And Jurgen Klopp's got problems. You know, I keep waiting for them to do something, and they don't.
Wolves win, good story. Liverpool come back at this point.
Even better
Very
story.
good story.
Yes.
Keep your eyes on that. To Aston Villa then, where there's been 5 goals first half. Villa twice led. Ollie Watkins scoring again for the 3rd time in 7 games under Unai Emery. It's a streak that he's on.
Yeah, it is. Good reaction from him there. I mean, Buendia had a fabulous effort that hits the frame of the goal. And that's when you want your centre forward to react. I didn't think he was going to get there because it looks like the defender's slightly ahead of him, but that's a forwards instinct. You just start quicker than the defender, you're active. And he was. Now, this is crazy. There's absolutely nowhere for Kamara to go here. And I blame the goalkeeper, by the way, here. Emilio Martinez should not be rolling the ball out in his own penalty area to a player who's under pressure and doesn't have another pass to make. And I hope he is telling them that. Look, there isn't
I think he was getting told that, wasn't he?
Yeah, but look, where can he pass it, Kesey?
Nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere. And he dwells in it, and I just don't get that. They've invited Leicester back into a game when they should have been establishing themselves. Now, Harry Shooter making his debut here could do nothing about this. It's a ball across goal, and it's going nowhere. Ollie Watkins. He'll take the plaudits, he will, but he's not getting the goal. I'm afraid that'll be Harry Shooter's.
Been a good week for Leicester with the owner absorbing, 198 million of debt.
Amazing,
That really does change everything.
That changes the lot. Back in it. Deal with the first cross, but keep your eye on Iheanacho. He dwells. He's borderline offside, but no one got anywhere near him to pick him up as he drifted on into the... Just watch as he come up. He comes onside, and there's a massive gap for him. Poor. Again, robbed early. Good
Foul
pressure.
there or not?
Might have been a foul, but might have been as might have been. Great ball in through though. And on his debut, great feeling. Great feeling. I think I see Iheanacho with this pass. Beautifully timed. That's a really nice finish from Tete. Really nice.
3-2.
The on-field officials more power, but
that we
when
want.
when it's as blatant as that, you have to help them out.
Yes,
you have to.
That was a very
you have to
clear
correct that,
and a very obvious error.
Yeah.
And Gary O'Neill, once again, I mentioned it earlier. It's been a couple of times this season that he's been very upset with the technology. He will not be happy about.
No,
that.
that's a penalty.
Into the Championship then.
رونالدو يعرب عن سعادته بعد افتتاح سجل أهدافه مع النصر. أبدأ النجم البرتغالي كريستيانو رونالدو سعادته بتسجيل أول أهدافه مع فريق النصر، وذلك في مواجهة الفتح يوم الجمعة، والتي انتهت بالتعادل 2-2 ضمن منافسات المرحلة 15 بدوري روشن السعودي للمحترفين. وسجل رونالدو هدف التعادل للنصر في شباك الفتح من ضربة جزاء في الدقيقة الثالثة من الوقت المحتسب بدلا من الضائع للشوط الثاني. بعدما كان فريقه متأخرا بنتيجة 2-1، قال رونالدو عبر حسابه الرسمي على موقع التواصل الاجتماعي فيسبوك: سعيد لتسجيل أول هدف لي في الدوري السعودي، مجهود كبير من الفريق بأكمله من أجل تحقيق تعادل مهم في مباراة صعبة للغاية. وانضم رونالدو إلى النصر السعودي في فترة الانتقالات الشتوية في يناير الماضي، وذلك بعدما فسخ عقده مع مانشستر يونايتد الإنجليزي قبل انطلاق بطولة كأس العالم في قطر، والتي خرج فيها منتخب بلاد البرتغال من دور الثمانية على يد نظيره المغربي بخسارته أمامه بنتيجة 1-0. ويتصدر النصر ترتيب الدوري السعودي برصيد 34 نقطة، متفوقا بفارق الأهداف عن ملاحقه الشباب الذي خاض 16 مباراة، فيما لعب النصر 15 مباراة فقط.